What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 804 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo for your typical midweek episode. Get you geared up for a big Eagles weekend. We got a lot of Phillies news to talk about. Who would have thunk here in mid-December, right before the holidays, we'd be talking a lot of big-time, impactful Phillies news. We'll also talk some hoops and hockey, and we've got big Philadelphia Waterdogs news that we're going to talk about for the people out there who are our lacrosse fans that cross over from OTB that want just that Philly-centric lacrosse news. The Philadelphia Waterdogs made one of the biggest signings in pro lacrosse free agency ever, and we're going to talk about it because that defense for the Dogs is going to be the new Broad Street Bullies, let me tell you. But before we get into all that, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. It means the world when you guys follow us. So be sure to follow at Underground PHI on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on every social platform, so be sure to follow us. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. We got a big 2026 on deck, especially with the Fight and Phils, with the World Cup, and so much more. So please follow us on the socials and subscribe to the pod on Apple and Spotify, and leave those 5-star reviews on Apple. Leave a comment on Spotify and those 5-star ratings. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of all our original 6 shows on the network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,173 subscribers, which means we are 27 subscribers away from 1,200, and I believe that still means we are 55 subscribers away from doubling our entire subscriber output from 2024 altogether. If you want to help us reach that goal and help us continue to move forward to where Underground is our full-time gigs and we're doing this as our careers, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Smash that like button, click the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live, and drop a comment down in the comments section. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. as I sit here and record this Thursday morning. I had a lot going on Wednesday. I had some big meetings, which I'll dive into later on in the show. If you want a little secret time, shout out to the house show with Patty Pitts. But we're going to talk some Philadelphia Eagles to lead off the show. And when it comes to this weekend with the Birds, remember everyone, Saturday game, 5 p.m., Saturday at 5 p.m. for the Eagles this week. Don't want to miss that game. The NFC East title is on the line. The Eagles win, they are division champs. And at the end of the day, I think that's one of the many milestones we wanted this team to accomplish yet again, coming off of their Super Bowl victory, was for them to go out, assert their dominance in the NFC East, and win the division back-to-back, break the NFC East curse of defending, reigning division champ not winning the following year. That has not happened since 2003, 2004, where we've had repeat division champs in the NFC East. It has changed every year since 2004, and the Eagles have a chance to break that curse, be the first team, or franchise, I should say, since the Eagles to do it, and I think that's pretty cool. If you listen to this show enough, I bang the drum for the Phils winning the division. I bang it for the entire mantra of banners fly forever, pennants fly forever, flags fly forever. They can't take that away from us. And when the Eagles go into Landover, Maryland on Saturday afternoon, go BTA against a banged-up old Washington Commanders team, and come away with another victory and walk away as NFC East champions, shirts and hat game, how you doing? We're all going to love it. We're going to be fully enthralled. The East is ours, and I love that stuff. I live for that. But you got to handle your business first. And, the Commanders have a lot of injuries. Laramie Tunsil doesn't look like he's going to be playing in this game. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is done for the year. They're banged up across the board. This game more so than the Raiders game, where I've got people coming at me saying, "Oh, it's the Raiders." You weren't saying that a week ago. The local and national media pundits were praising the Cowboys for going belt to ass on the Raiders and saying it's the greatest win the Cowboys have had all season long against a middling Raiders team. But now when the Eagles shut that team out, it's just the Raiders. Shut the fuck up. When it comes to the Commanders, I think they are slightly better coached. I still think they have more talent than the Raiders across the board. So it's not going to be a cakewalk per se, but it should be an easily winnable game for the Eagles on Saturday. You should be able to go into Washington, walk away with a comfortable victory, and we're celebrating an NFC East title. And at the end of the day, that's just step one for what we want for this team. We want to see them, clinch that playoff spot, which will come with the division title. We want to see where they're going to end up being in the playoffs. It's damn near impossible for the 1 seed now, no matter what the outcome of Thursday Night Football is, because the Lions lost, the Eagles lost to the Chargers. It's a mess. But we want to see who that opponent is, and then we want them to go and assert their dominance. I still think, even with all of the issues that this team has dealt with this year, with underachieving on offense, some massive injuries on the offensive line, a little bit of coaching incompetence from coordinator named Kevin Patullo, I still think this team is very talented. They're battle-tested in the playoffs, and they know how to win at the end of the day. I know it has felt difficult this year with them trying to figure out how to win, but they know how to win as a team and have reached the mountaintop for the most part, all of them, just last season. So they know what it's going to take to get back to that mountaintop. It's just going to come down to proper execution of plays. It's going to come down to attention to detail, and I genuinely think the Eagles have a chance to win out the rest of the year, beat Buffalo in Buffalo, and then come back home and win a Week 18 game against Washington again, and kind of go into the playoffs feeling good about yourself with a 4-game win streak. Then it all comes down to who you're playing on Wild Card Weekend, and then so on and so forth. But it all starts Saturday in Washington. Division game, division championship on the line, which I think the NFL was hoping that the Commanders and Eagles were going to be going toe-to-toe for the division in this instance, where these two games are at the tail end of the season, which I never agree with, no matter what sport, especially baseball, a lot in basketball that we've seen this year with the Sixers and the Celtics having played 3 times in 11 games to start this year, and specifically football. Football, you should play your rival in the middle of the season, and you should play them either to start the season or end. And clumping 2 Commanders games where earlier in the season they're a different team, now they're a much different team, and we're going to be playing them when they are completely irrelevant. And, I'm not going to bash having 2 what should be easy wins here on the way out into the postseason, but it is a little weird from just an optics standpoint for the NFL to bank on the Commanders being good so that at the end of the year the Eagles had 2 games in 3 weeks against the Commanders, which if you were a smart cookie like yours, you'd know, and you could have smelled the Commanders fall off from a mile away. But I mean, this game, to me, it's all about execution. It's all about attention to detail, and it's all about just continuing to build upon what was a positive win against the Raiders, what has been, learning from your mistakes and just being able to spread the ball around, assert your dominance on the ground. I don't think Washington has a good defense at all. This is a game where Jalen Hurts should be able to run the ball wisely. Of course, you don't want to do it too much and see Jalen get injured in a game like this, but you want to see him take care of the football. You want to see Saquon Barkley kind of find his stride in this game, and you want to see the receivers involved. You want to see Dallas Goedert involved like he was, and the offense was very creative last week, and a lot of people speculating that the outside opinion is from inside of the club, which would not shock me. Okay, the offense looking different that well and moving that smoothly in less than a week's time is pretty impressive. So, nonetheless, I feel good about this game against the Commanders. This should not be an issue game whatsoever for the Birds, and I just want to see Jalen continue to build the positive momentum for this team from the quarterback position, continue to silence everybody that is doubting him, and showcase why he is QB1 in this city and will be QB1 in this city for quite some time. And I just want to see a solid game plan on offense. I trust the defense wholeheartedly. I think this defense is rock solid. I think it's even underrated to a degree, especially with Jalen Carter being out. A lot of people just kind of devalue what our defense does. But when you have 2 corners in Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell who are going to be vying for all-pro teams this year, when you have performances from Reed Blankenship and Marcus Epps coming in reserve, with Epps in particular, playing the way that they are, that's huge. When you have your linebackers in Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond playing the way that they are, and you're getting quality pass rush from Brandon Graham on the interior of all places, Jalen Phillips, Jalix Hunt, Josh Uche, and the rest of those boys on that D-line, Moro Jomo playing out of his mind, I trust the defense, okay? I don't have... And, I mean, Adoree Jackson has played well. Adoree Jackson has quietly put together one of the better seasons from a CB2 that the Eagles have had, where we've gone into a year kind of questioning that position. And I know it was a bumpy start, but for a solid 2 months now, he has been everything you could have asked for from a CB2. And I'm not complaining one bit about Adoree right now. Hopefully he continues to ball out. And we're sitting here, with Monday's episode recapping the Eagles being NFC East champions, recapping a big Eagles win. And at the end of the day, just trying to get out of that game healthy. This is a big part of this down the stretch schedule for the Eagles, is that they have such a lead now in the division that you got to win on Saturday, but you also got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy for that Bills game that's going to be essentially a playoff-esque atmosphere for you to kind of figure some things out and prepare for what a playoff atmosphere is going to be. And then week 18, figuring out, who's going to play, who's not going to play, and getting some guys some burn before the playoffs. And, it's not going to be like last year. You're not going to have that first round bye. So for a lot of these guys, week 18 is going to be their bye, and getting them prepared and getting them healthy for a wild card weekend game, because you're not going to get the 1 seed this year. It's not going to be the playoffs run through Philadelphia off the rip. There's going to be that extra game you're going to have to play in order to go on this run again and hopefully find yourself back, in the Super Bowl and playing in Santa Clara and defending your title. But that's my big takeaways, for this game is win, be healthy after the win, and just walk away as division champs. That's all you can ask for from a game like this, where it's another short week. The NFL screwed us with the scheduling there. And at the end of the day, you can only do so much with that, but you need to make sure that everyone, or as close to everyone, in my case, I hope everyone, walks away from this game healthy, so that when you go up to Buffalo and you treat it almost like a playoff preparation game, you see what happens. And then week 18 can be your bye week. You go into wild card weekend playing whomever. Let's pull up the playoff machine, shall we? Playoff machine. Let's see what we're working with. So let's say the Seahawks win tonight. I don't think this. Let's say the Rams win. That almost guarantees they will be the 1 seed. If the Packers win, they become the 2 seed. If the Bears win, they are the 2 seed. So let's say the Packers win and see if there's a way for the Eagles to potentially be the 2 seed still at the end of the day. Let's say this happens, and then this happens, this. Let's say that happens, and then let's say this happens. Okay, so going into week 17, let's say this, that, or that. That would be fascinating. Let's say the Ravens win. The Packers flip-flop again to become the 7 seed. They remain the 2 seed with a win. So let's say the Packers end up losing. Let's say the Bears end up losing. So there is a path, ladies and gentlemen, where the Eagles can still be the 2 seed in these NFL playoffs. There is still a path. What that path entails is a lot of help from a lot of teams. But at the end of the day, there is still a path for the Eagles to walk away as the 2 seed going into the playoffs. Can they reclaim the 1 seed if all goes right? That would mean the Cardinals lose. That would mean that happens. Do I have the Seahawks losing anywhere else? What happens if they lose this game? What happens if the Eagles win? So there's still an outside chance, believe it or not, that the Eagles can claim the 1 seed. How it happens is a lot of help, but it's possible, and I'll lay it out for you. It would be crazy if this happens, but the Eagles can still get the 1 seed, even pending Thursday Night Football, Rams at Seahawks. And it would be the Eagles, the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams all finishing 12-5. So tonight, if the Rams win, the Eagles can still get the 1 seed. If the Seahawks win, it's pretty much dead. I mean, not pretty much. It is dead. So if the Rams win tonight, the Eagles beat the Commanders, the Packers or Bears, it doesn't really matter who wins that game. That all just depends on the other seeding there. The 49ers beat the Colts. Doesn't really matter, but let's just say that happens. The Lions. Does it matter with the Lions? No. Okay. So that's what it is. Rams win, Eagles win. Things stay alive. Then we move forward. The Ravens have to beat the Packers in Week 17. That's a must. The Eagles beat the Bills. The 49ers can beat the Bears, or the Bears can beat the 49ers. That just changes everything else, seeding-wise. The big one would be the Falcons upsetting the Rams. Okay? That is the big one. And then the Panthers beating the Seahawks. It's a lot of craziness. Okay? I understand that, but there's still a weird chance that all of this happens. And then Week 18, the Cardinals upset the Rams. The Eagles beat the Commanders. The Seahawks beat the 49ers. That's a must. The Lions and Bears doesn't really matter except for their playoff seeding. And then the Packers and Vikings game doesn't really matter. The Bucks and Panthers just matters for who wins the division. So, yeah, there's an outside chance the Eagles can get into the playoffs as the 1 seed. I thought it was dead. It's still very much alive. The Rams would have to effectively lose out outside of Thursday Night Football so that they finish as the 2 seed. The Seahawks finishes as the 6 seed, and the 49ers are the 5 seed. Crazier shit has happened in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Crazier things have happened. I would love to see it. I'm fully expecting the Eagles to be playing Wild Card Weekend, or Super Wild Card Weekend, as they used to call it. But nonetheless, it would be fun. It would be fun. It would be fun to see that happen. But Eagles go win the division, so that way this here tip of the cap can turn into a celebration. And you all know the tip of the cap here on this very program is brought to you by our awesome pals at 47. Guys, I'm rocking the 47 Phils hat right now. I love the Pomona Hitch. I have this Phillies hat in every version possible, pretty much. The only one I don't have is white because I feel like white gets a little dirty just from what I do. I sweat a lot, but I got it in the red. I got it in the City Connect. I got it in the maroon. I got it in the cream. I love this style. It's so clean. I got a little bit of a vintage twang to it. I love the Pomona Hitch. It is beautiful. I had to get this. I got this during Black Friday, Cyber Monday for a steal from our friends at 47. You guys can shop with 47 as well. Shop for your favorite sports fan this holiday season. Use our link in the description to shop with 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. It's their version of a rewards program. You earn points for every purchase you make, and those points can go towards making things free. And if it's free, it's for me. So, again, join the 47 family at 47.com. Is it 47.com? Use our link. It is 47brand.com, but use our link to shop with 47 and get free shipping when you join the 47 family. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. We got some custom podcast hats as well for OTB. And obviously Patty Pitts has his for the house show with 47. So trying to get some for Underground as well pretty soon. That way we're just repping 47 for the brand. We're repping it for our teams. We're repping it everywhere. We love 47 here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. But shifting gears here from the Birds to the Phils. Since we last spoke, ladies and gentlemen, the Phils have made some splashes, okay? Adolis Garcia, you are a Philadelphia Philly. Brad Keller, come on down. You are a Philadelphia Philly. Let's start with Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia is Now it's a bittersweet because this essentially means the end of Nick Castellanos in Philadelphia. And if you've been listening to this show since 2021, you know we have been the biggest Nick Castellanos podcast on the planet. We have championed Nick since he was in Cincinnati. That was when the Phillies were out of the playoffs. Cincinnati was going on kind of a run. We were trying to find what team we were going to root for the rest of the season. And that was when Matt brought up, there's no real, equivalent to NBA Twitter with baseball, but Nick Castellanos is the face of it and was for quite some time. And then we connected with Nick's mom on social media. We connected with Jess. We connected with Nick's brother. And we've been very close with the Castellanos family. They've listened to the show. They've watched the show from what I've been told on a number of accounts. But I will forever be grateful for them. It was a huge moment in our show's history when we connected with them. And being able to have an athlete in your city that supports you, whether it be directly or indirectly, and in this case, kind of indirectly. I don't know if Nick listened to the show or not, but if he did, that makes me even happier. Is one of the cooler things that we get to do doing this show is, connecting with athletes families, and championing them. And Nick has been the consummate pro. No matter what people say, that dude is just the ultimate competitor. And I will root for Nick Castellanos wherever he plays. That doesn't change because he's out of Phillies pinstripes or what have you. I will always be a Nick Castellanos guy. He's the ultimate pro, the ultimate competitor, and his family is fantastic and have treated us extremely well over the years. And I wish him nothing but the best. I want him to succeed no matter where he's playing. Unless he's playing against the Phillies, obviously. And I know he's still on the roster, and it's this weird limbo kind of thing, but I just want it to be known on the record that, Nick Castellanos is my guy through and through. We have always championed him. We will always be supporters, and it is a bittersweet thing when you see somebody get signed to our team, to the Phillies, that it shows the writing is on the wall almost. But we'll always have the Nicky C moments. We'll always have the moment where we were talking about Nick being on this team, and then boom, there it is with that amazing batting cage video with the Phillies bell ringing, and the numerous unbelievable sliding catches in right field, and the clutch home runs in the postseason, the unbelievable walk-off against the Mets in 2024, the number of walk-offs in the regular season he's had. Just truly an awesome Philly. He should be on the Wall of Fame, in my opinion, and I will certainly be missing Nick Castellanos in Phillies pinstripes. That's for damn sure. So salute to the boy. Best of luck, Nicky C. And I'm, who knows? Maybe he's here, and I'm saying all this, and I sound stupid. But who is here for certain is Adolis Garcia, coming over from the Texas Rangers. I'm intrigued to see what number he's going to wear with the Philadelphia Phillies. He wore 53 with the Rangers. He wore 28 when he was with the Cardinals in 2018. Coming over after a down year last year offensively. He hit 227 in 2025, a 271 on-base percentage, 394 slugging, a 665 OPS. I feel like he's the ultimate change of scenery guy because, 2 seasons ago, he hit 245, mashed 39 home runs. He only hit 19 in 135 games in 2025. Hit 25 home runs in 2024, kind of a down year there as well. I feel like he's a big change of scenery guy, but he also plays excellent defense in the outfield. And I think when you look at what he's going to accomplish at Citizens Bank Park playing right field, where, you know, if you look at, where's his fielding percent? A 993 fielding percentage in 2025. That's huge. That's a huge, you know, boost in the outfield there. And that was one of his best seasons, you know, fielding percentage-wise. And I think when you couple that into the lineup where you're probably going to have Brandon Marsh somewhere. Justin Crawford will be in the mix. Who knows about Harrison Bader still? I really am intrigued to see what Adolis is going to do here. I like the move. There's no such thing as a bad one-year deal. Let that be known. No such thing as a bad one-year deal. He's 32 years old. He'll be 33 in March. And I think, you know, he's going to bring some flair to this Phillies lineup that has been missing. It's going to bring some juice, where we saw that from the bullpen when Johan Duran came over in the trade deadline, when, you know, Jose Alvarado is cooking in this bullpen, when you got guys like Christopher Sanchez and Ranger Suarez and Jesus Luzardo who bring the passion. You know, when Bryce Harper is going, he's got that passion. Schwarber, JT Realmuto, like, they bring the passion when things are going. And I feel like it's just been lacking the past couple of years. And when you bring a Gold Glove caliber right fielder in who can mash in the middle of this lineup, whether he's hitting fifth, sixth, wherever, like, it makes the lineup that much more potent. I like the move a lot, and that's going to be a fun outfield. And we'll see if Bader's back. You platoon Crawford and Marsh in left, Bader in center, Adolis in right. That's a legit defensive outfield right there. And then you pop him in the middle of this lineup that now has Schwarber back. Obviously, you've got Harper. Hopefully, you'll have JT. You'll have Trey. You'll have Stott. We'll see if Bohm is here. I think he will be. I'd be shocked if he's not. But yeah, I like this move a lot. I think it's a B+ move. And we got to get Adolis Muse on the pod. Get into the Museverse. Shout out to Adolis Muse for following the show. We're going to try to get Adolis Muse on the pod just to have some fun with the Muse universe from Stat Muse. But not only is Adolis Garcia coming to Philadelphia, the Phillies also signed Brad Keller. Brad Keller, reliever, coming over from the Chicago Cubs. 30 years old. Played for the Royals. Played for the D-backs, I believe. But has really evolved into an elite relief pitcher. Spent 2018 and 2023 with the Royals. 2024 with the White Sox and Red Sox. And then went to the Cubs in 2025. He was nasty last year. A 1.4 WAR out of the bullpen, went 4-2, a 2.07 ERA. Mind you, his ERAs at every stop he has been at, outside of the 2020 season, which I'll remove, the lowest ERA he ever had was his rookie season in Kansas City as a starter at a 3.08. Then he kind of, you know, just not really that great. And then last year really evolved into an elite late inning reliever. The Phillies signed him to a 2-year, $22 million contract. I love this move. Brad Keller being your 8th inning guy is going to be amazing for this team. Like, amazing. When you couple him with Duran, when you couple him with Jose Alvarado, when you couple him with hopefully Matt Strahm. You know, there's rumors out there that Matt Strahm could get traded. I'd be stunned that you'd want to remove from this bullpen. Tanner Banks. If Tanner Banks continues to, develop the way that he did last year and just take those steps forward, when you have guys in that bullpen, now you have Brad Keller in that bullpen, it makes this a dangerous, dangerous team to face late in games. And I think when you look at what this bullpen can look like in that goes without mentioning Ryan Kerkering, obviously, but when you can go in a clutch game, you look at the playoffs, when you can go lefty-righty to Duran, righty-lefty to Duran, it gets me giddy. It gets me giddy. Keller in the 8th is going to be, hopefully, what Ryan Madsen was for Brad Lidge in 2008. Keller comes in, cleans things up. He's going to be the complete polar opposite of what a Ryan Kerkering was in 2025, where the innings where, there's guys on base and you gotta clear the bases out a little bit and make sure you get out of an inning clean. Brad Keller's going to be able to do that. Ryan Kerkering could not do that, and that was a problem. And I think now when you can go Alvarado, Keller, Duran, you can go Keller, Strom, Duran, you can go Strom, Alvarado, Duran. This bullpen has a lot of pieces that make it potent and make it dangerous, that you couple that with the starting pitching we have, and that is hopefully, we'll see when Wheeler is back, but Zach Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo, Nola. We'll see what happens with Ranger Suarez, obviously. Andrew Painter, Taijuan Walker. There is potential for this to be one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball. Not just starting rotations, not just bullpen, overall pitching staff in baseball. Because I view a lot of teams that have elite pitching, they more so have throwers than pitchers. And if you have elite throwers, that's all fine and dandy. But if you can't pitch, then that's a problem. But I love the Keller signing. I love the Adolis Garcia signing. I think Adolis is like a B+ with upside. And I think Keller is a B+, A- and can be really good. And now, Keller had that stellar bars. Keller was stellar last year with the Cubs, and now he gets to work with Caleb Cotham. And we all know Caleb Cotham is the best pitching coach in baseball. We've seen it. We've seen what he's done with the likes of Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, Luzardo, Nola, what he's done for Zach Wheeler, what he's done for guys like Strom and Alvarado and now Duran. I'm giddy about thinking about what Caleb Cotham is going to be able to do with Brad Keller in this bullpen and how it just lengthens this game for Rob Thompson, game in and game out, and what it's going to do in the postseason. To have reliable bullpen pitchers in the postseason, you can never have too many. And we should be thrilled about this signing. I love what my man OJ Spivey said. We're going to Keller with crowns. Oh, about to start calling Brad Keller Mr. Crayola. But I love it. I love the signing there. I think this is one of the best on-paper signings Dave Dombrowski has made in his tenure as the head man for the Phils. Obviously, you have the likes of Schwarber and Castellanos and, trading for Luzardo and, moves like that. But to go and get a guy like this in free agency, and it's kind of under the radar and nobody really expected it, I like it. Picasso, just don't trade Strom, in my opinion. I think that would be silly. I think that would be like taking 2 steps forward and then taking a step back, all when you wanted to just take 1 step forward. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. Love those signings. And we'll see what's to come. JT is still out there. Ranger Suarez is still out there. Harrison Bader is still out there. We'll see what's to come with those three. In particular, if I had to grade it, I think JT is the slam dunk to be back. Bader, it flip-flops every day for me. I one day I feel like, oh, maybe they're going to bring him back. Then the next day it's like, I don't know. And Ranger is such an interesting dynamic. And I do wonder if he's like holding out for the Phillies to make him an offer that he and Scott Boras just can't refuse. Because the fact that it is December 18th as you guys are listening to this, and Ranger Suarez is still a free agent, is fascinating to me. I felt like he would have been one of the first off the market. But the more that the days go by, the more I'm like, can the Phillies bring him back? Because I love Ranger. And I think the Phillies love Ranger. And I think Ranger loves the Phillies. And I think they're just trying to find a sweet spot where he can be back. But I feel like as the days go by, the more and more likely it could be that Ranger Suarez is back in Phillies pinstripes. But that remains to be seen. But Adolis, Garcia, Brad Keller, welcome to Philadelphia, boys. We got to get you celebrating your new contracts. And that the only way to celebrate in Philadelphia properly, ladies and gentlemen, is with an ice cold Kenwood beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey areas. You can also find Kenwood beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink and celebrate responsibly. New signings, new toys right before Christmas for the Fightin' Phils. And a new toy and a new signing for the Philadelphia Waterdogs, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're talking a little lacrosse here on Underground Sports Philadelphia because the Philadelphia Waterdogs made a splash, all pun intended, with one of the biggest free agent signings in pro lacrosse history. They have signed the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Gavin Adler, away from the New York Atlas, and he is coming to Philadelphia. A huge move that, at the end of the day, from what reports are saying, Gavin Adler wanted to team back up with his old teammate from Cornell, CJ Kirst. First big move in Dave Cottle's GM career. And as Michael Bolger, Waterdogs beat writer for the PLL, put in his article, adding Adler is an eye-popping second move at the helm for new Waterdogs general manager Dave Cottle, the lacrosse equivalent of bringing Saquon Barkley to Philadelphia. Now, why is it that? Because the Waterdogs defense was pretty solid last year when healthy. You have Kenny Brower, who I like to call Broward County. You got Ben Randall and Jimmy Freehill and Ben Weyer, who were rookies last year. Matt Witcher in the defensive midfield. Dylan Hess, who was a rookie last year, an all-star last year as a rookie, who were re-signed through Witcher re-signed through 2027 earlier in the week. And there's a huge excitement around this because now you're adding the reigning Defensive Player of the Year to a 3-year deal. He landed at number 15 on the players' top 50 list this year. He's 26 years old. He was probably, if not probably, he was the number one free agent on the market. 4 teams were in the running. It was the Waterdogs, it was the Denver Outlaws, the California Redwoods, and the Utah Archers, as well as the New York Atlas. It eventually came down to the Atlas, Redwoods, and Waterdogs by multiple reports out there. I mean, the Waterdogs allowed 12.7 goals per game last season, which was the third most in the PLL. And on top of that, Gavin Adler was the Michael Sowers eraser. Michael Sowers' toughest cover was Gavin Adler. Whenever the Waterdogs played New York, Gavin Adler had that assignment and played it to a T. And now Michael Sowers' toughest cover is his teammate. I love this move so much. It's a power move by Dave Cottle. It's a power move by Bill Tierney. And it's something I didn't see coming. I didn't expect this. I expected Gavin Adler to return to the New York Atlas. He just won a championship, won Defensive Player of the Year with them, really fit in their defensive makeup and synergy. And this is one of the biggest, shake-up moves in PLL free agency history. And I love it because it means lacrosse is growing. It broke the lacrosse Twitter internet yesterday. When it came through, and it's crazy to conceptualize that a former number 1 overall pick is choosing to sign with the Philadelphia team. You have CJ Kirst, you have number 2 overall pick in Michael Sowers, you have Gavin Adler now on this team. It's an elite defense. They are going to be the new Broad Street Bullies. I know they play at Villanova, so it's on the main line. Maybe they're the main line menaces, the menaces of the main line. But goddamn, Gavin Adler is a fucking water dog, ladies and gentlemen. And as he said at Media Day last year, he brings the violence. He's a dog. I would love to get Gavin on this show. We obviously would love to have him on OTB. But I'd love to get Gavin on this show, introduce him to Philadelphia. He went to Cornell. He's a New York guy. But I mean, just looking at this Waterdogs defense, it's crazy to me. And we're gonna go in depth on this on OTB for sure. Gavin Adler's gonna wear number 97 for the Waterdogs. It's a huge move. He's 2-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time All-Star. He signed through 2028 with the Dogs. This Dogs defense is scurry. Ben Randall, Jimmy Freehill, Gavin Adler, Kenny Brower. Maybe Eli comes back. Eli Gobrecht, friend of the program. And then you got Matt Witcher, Dylan Hess, Charlie Hayes. There's rumors, unfortunately, that the boy Christian Scarpello is going to the Carolina Chaos. But you got Ben Weyer, Marcus Hudgens. Whoo-wee. This team is looking kind of nice. And that all goes into the part of this where it's, CJ Kirst, Kieran McCardle, Michael Sowers, Jake Taylor, Zed Williams on this team. Along with Jack Hanna, Connor Kelly. Thomas McConvey is a free agent right now. We'll see if he is back. Zach Currier on this team, obviously. This team is looking nice, and I think they're only going to build upon what they were able to accomplish in 2025 and taking that step forward after year 1 under Bill Tierney and making it to the PLL semifinals and, losing to Gavin Adler and the New York Atlas. But I think there is a lot to be excited about with the Philadelphia Waterdogs and being a team that everyone in Philly can get behind and just support. When you sign the best defensive player in the league from a season ago in free agency in a power move, with Dave Cottle being in his first year as GM of the Waterdogs, that's signaling to the league, that's signaling to your locker room, hey, we're going for it this year. We're going for it for years to come. And I think when it's all said and done, we are, as Philadelphia fans, going to really, really enjoy what is to come for this team for years. And we should all be pumped about it. Welcome to Philadelphia, Gavin Adler. And we'll see what Dave Cottle's got up his sleeve moving forward. But Gavin Adler talk there, brought to you by our PLL app code Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the PLL app is the one-stop shop to stay up to date with everything going on in the PLL, especially during free agency. There's no better way to keep up to date with everything that's going on in the PLL. It is the one-stop shop. It is a gamified app as well, so you earn experience points for logging in every day and accomplishing tasks in the app, which go towards unlocking tiers that give you amazing stuff like discounts, access to ESPN Plus, and so much more. Download the PLL app in the App Store or Google Play Store, and when you go to the redeem code section, type in OTBPOD. That's OTB Pod for outside the box. And you get 500 XP on your account. So again, download the PLL app in the App Store or Google Play Store, and when you go to the redeem code section, type in OTBPOD, and you get 500 XP on your account, and you keep up to date with everything going on this PLL free agency period and beyond in the PLL app. Shout out to Gavin Adler, newest member of the Philadelphia Waterdogs. Little bit of hoops and hockey. We'll start with the Sixers. I have some fun news for everyone. I am going to be at the Sixers game on Saturday in a capacity I have never been to a Sixers game before. So if you're going to the game, be sure to find me pregame when you're entering the arena, because I'm going to be doing some content for a company that we are going to hopefully be working with a lot in the future. But I'm excited. I don't want to say too much. But if you're going to be at the Sixers game on Saturday night, let me know. Would love to see you. I'm going to be around the entrances and stuff, making content, and would love to have you in the content if you're going to be there. So, Sixers, though, coming off a rough one on Sunday where we talked about that. They lost to the Hawks. They now play on Friday. They've had like a week off before this back-to-back against the Knicks and the Mavericks. Hopefully Tyrese Maxey's feeling better. Definitely miss his presence on the court. But, you're playing the Knicks coming off their NBA Cup title, and they're a bunch of frauds not respecting the Cup. They say they're not going to raise a banner for it. What a bunch of losers. Your team just won something together, and you're not going to raise a banner. What did I say at the beginning of the episode, guys? Flags fly forever. Banners fly forever. Titles are forever. You're an NBA Cup champion. I don't care how new it is. I don't care how, people want to diminish it because it's a regular season tournament, this, that, and third. I don't care. If you win a trophy, if you're holding a trophy and confetti is falling on you at the end of the day, that's a title. That's something to celebrate. And, kudos to the Knicks. Shout out to my Nova boys. But a bunch of frauds in that front office saying they're not going to raise a banner. For a team that is so over the top with wanting to be at the forefront of look at me culture, the Knicks certainly are doing a disservice to themselves by not gloating about winning a title in any capacity. Because how long has it been since the Knicks have won an actual title? Also, I'm just reacting here because we got a comment on TikTok saying to make podcast equipment more expensive because I praised Kenny Pickett. Thank you for the engagement. You chose to comment here. Challenge by choice. Pal, we've been rocking and rolling for nearly 8 years. We're not stopping. Thanks for dropping by. Just put the fries in the bag next time. Dude holding up McDonald's fries and in a McDonald's outfit. Total troll. That's my thing. It totally just derailed the conversation here, and I apologize. That's my thing. Is I love responding to the trolls. I love responding to them because not only are you engaging with our content, you're getting it in the algorithm by engaging with it, and I'm going to respond to continue thrusting us into it. I become Thanos. I drop Infinity Stones into my gauntlet when you comment like a troll. Saying to make podcast equipment more expensive? Dude, just put the fries in the bag. Like, I'm not diminishing McDonald's workers either. Those motherfuckers bust their asses. But you're dropping by my neck of the woods to comment, challenge by choice. You ain't have to comment. You could have just kept scrolling. I'm going to come back at you 10 times harder. That is the name of the game. Okay? CFO Margie knows I will come at you 10 times harder if you come at me unprompted. I don't care if it's my personal account. I don't care if it's the pod account. I respond. I'm not afraid to respond. I love that shit. Just put the fries in the bag next time, pal. What is this guy's username on the old TikTok? What is this guy's name? Chope. Connor Hope. At Connor Hope 4 on TikTok. Connor, I hope you have a wonderful day. And next time, I hope you just put the fries in the bag, bro. It's not that hard to slide by something that you don't agree with. You don't have to comment on everything. But I appreciate you commenting. Because guess what? You just helped our engagement numbers on our platforms. You just helped us going. You just keeping us going. And guess what? I bought this equipment a long time ago. And guess what? It ain't going anywhere. This is my fucking job. Absolute bozos. I love it, though. I feed off of it. And I think that's what makes us different, is I'm not afraid to go back at the trolls. And it keeps us afloat. Some people are afraid. I'm not afraid of the trolls. But back to your regularly scheduled podcast here. The Sixers, looking to bounce back against the Knicks. The Knicks are a bunch of losers and cowards for not raising the banner. But I will be at Mavericks Sixers on Saturday night. Keep your eyes peeled for me. Looking forward to it. CFO Margie will be there with me. And it's going to be a fun night. I'm looking forward to it. And switching to the other tenant of Xfinity Mobile Arena that we're going to talk about here, the Philadelphia Flyers. They are fresh off a 4-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens up in Montreal. I hate Montreal. It's just something ingrained in me from day one. My dad doesn't like them, and I don't like them. So I love when when the Flyers beat the Canadiens. Big time win, 4-1. Trevor Zegras is just, he's unbelievable, man. I will talk about Trevor Zegras until I'm blue in the face. Scored a goal in this game. Couturier 2 assists. TK 1-1. Bobby Brink with a goal. Carl Grundstrom with a goal. Dvorak with an assist. Emil Andre with an assist. Michkov and Tippett with assists. 17-9-6, those Philadelphia Flyers. Now they play the Buffalo Sabres up in Buffalo on Thursday night. Rangers on Saturday at MSG. Home against the Canucks, and then nice little fucking long 5-game road trip. 4 of those 5 to round out 2025. Like we said, though. What was that? Yeah, that was on Monday's episode. I said, if you can potentially run the table here, and I was being nice, saying you'd probably get a point against the Canucks in one of those games. You might get a point against the Kraken or something like that. And, I split a couple of points there, but Flyers could really do some damage if they can run this table here to round out the year. And right now they're in third place in the Met. And they're only a point behind the Islanders. And they can, bump themselves up even more with a win against the Sabres. The Islanders are off on Thursday. They don't play until Friday. team, man. This team. 40 points already. A +7 goal differential. They've given up the second fewest goals in the Met. 89 goals against, 96 goals for. They're a fun bunch, guys. I've tried to tell you all, they are a fun bunch. I love watching this team. They are so much fun. I can't recommend just like getting behind them enough. Like, they are everything you want to enjoy about a sports team. They're young, they're playing loose, they're playing fun, and at the end of the day, isn't that what you want from your favorite sports team? Isn't that what you want from your favorite sports team? Is just to watch them go out and have fun doing what they do. I love it. I love the way the Flyers are playing right now. They are a blast. And they've played fewer games than damn near everyone in the Met, too. Them and the Penguins have only played 32 games. The Hurricanes have played 33. Islanders have played 34. That's the thing. The Islanders have played 2 more games, and the Flyers are only 1 point behind them. So this team has a chance to really like continue racking up some damage in this Metropolitan Division. And I love it. Like, they're in a legit playoff spot right now. I just could not be happier with the way that they are playing. But I mean, it's the orange and the black, baby. They're on fire. And it's all led by Trevor Zegras right now. He should be an all-star. He should be in Philadelphia forever. I love that dude. Thank you to the Anaheim Ducks for sending him here. I'm beyond stoked with how the hockey team is playing right now. 17-9-6, 40 points, a positive goal differential. They're 5-2-3 in their last 10. They're playing good hockey, guys. Good hockey. Flyers talk and Sixers talk. Some hoops and hockey there. Brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, there's no better way to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going down to Xfinity Mobile Arena to watch the Flyers and the Sixers, going to the Link to watch the Birds, gearing up for spring training for the Phils, getting some gear for the Union to go down to the Soob for in 2026, or you want to rep your favorite podcast, because you can get official Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch at PHI Apparel Company. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, use code Underground to get 10% off your next merch order from our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code Underground for 10% off your next merch order, and stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is all I've got for you guys on this one. Fun episode. Lots to talk about. A lot of new faces in Philadelphia. Welcome to Philly, Adolis, Garcia, Brad Keller, and Gavin Adler. Eagles game on Saturday. Sixers game on Saturday. Lots to be excited about here in the city of brotherly love. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Be sure to follow us. You can follow me on Twitter at KBICZL311, KBICZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify and a comment on the episode. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps it reach new audiences, and allows us to continue doing more dope stuff with and for you guys. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. YouTube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week. Full video episodes of every show on our network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We are at 1,173 subscribers. Can we please get 27 more of you to subscribe before the end of the year? Can we please get 55 more of you to subscribe before the end of the year so we double our entire subscriber count from 2024 in one calendar year? Can we make it happen? We've got about 2 weeks. Can we get it done? youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Smash that like button, ring the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live, and leave a comment down in the comment section below. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. Yes, my hometown, the city of Vineland, our proud presenting sponsor. And whether you are a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 804 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. We will talk again on Monday, hopefully talking about an Eagles win, hopefully talking about all of my escapades at the Sixers game on Saturday night. Hopefully talking about more Flyers wins. We'll see what the Phillies continue to do in free agency. We'll see what the Waterdogs continue to do in free agency. The Wings, I believe, play this weekend as well. The Wings back in action on the road. I believe they're in Rochester this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the Wings are in Rochester Saturday night at 7 o'clock. So definitely tune in for that. It's going to be a good game. Rochester, a very talented team, coming off a 15-7 win against the Seals. Where can you watch the game? ESPN Plus, but I'm pretty sure local TV will have it as well for the Wings. Looking forward to it. But again, be sure to subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. This has been episode number 804 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Monday, I'll let you know what the full-blown release schedule will be with the holidays coming up on our typical release dates. Being that Christmas Eve is a Wednesday, Christmas Day is a Thursday, New Year's Eve is a Wednesday, New Year's Day is a Thursday, so a lot to dissect here. I may release Christmas and New Year's Eve, but I'll let you all know on Monday's episode for sure. That may be the move, just because we're a show that we got to keep talking about our sports teams when they're in season. It's not like we get a break, you know. So we'll definitely have something, obviously, and I know a lot of people don't celebrate Christmas either. So I want to have something out for the people that are tuning in that may not be celebrating the holidays and such, and come to this show, which is completely humbling, for a nice little mental vacay and talking about our sports teams. But more looking at my calendar right now, it's looking like we'll have a show release on Monday, the 22nd, and then we'll have a show release on Wednesday, the 24th, and then we'll have a show release on the 29th, and then on New Year's Eve. That seems to be the best course of action, with just how the calendar falls and everything. So stay tuned. I'll have a definitive answer, but that looks like it's going to be the answer. But nonetheless, this has been episode number 804 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Let's go win the NFC East. How about that? Let's go win the NFC East. I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. Go Birds, go Phils, go Flyers, go Sixers, go Dogs, go Wings, go Union. And I will talk to you all on Monday. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I am signing off. Peace.